um you talk about the scene, knowing the scene in heaven, right?
Mm-hmm.
So we get introduced to Job. He's a righteous man. He's blameless, like you said. And then we jump into the scene with God and Satan, where they're basically putting Job on trial. I
Mm-hmm.
think this definitely makes the book of Job a different book from anything else. You never really get to see a
Yes.
glimpse into heaven. And
Mm-hmm.
then you're like, how did the writer even know what was going on in heaven? You're like, God told, like, it's a lot to
Yeah.
take in. What I like about the scene is it really shows it shows the character of God, but it shows the character of the devil, Satan, who is the
Mm-hmm.
accuser, and how really God is bragging on Job to, like, there's a meeting of all the angels. Satan comes in with the other angels, showing that he is not anywhere close equal to God. He is
Right.
an angel himself that can go from heaven to earth as he pleases, apparently.
Mm-hmm.
God is basically bragging on Job. He's like, this guy, he's amazing. Look at him. He's like, he's he's perfect, basically. Not
Mm-hmm.
perfect, he's not Jesus, but he's pretty legit. This is the same guy who's like he's so far from sin, he's doing sacrifices for his children just in case
Right.
they sin. So
Yeah.
y'all know he's not doing. And then Satan is accusing Job after God's bragging on him. Satan's like, well, he only worships you because you give him stuff. Look at his life. It's
Right.
it's it's awesome. And I feel like Satan does that with us too now. Even I don't know if he does it with us now like the same way, but it's like those thoughts of condemnation you have in your head, or those bad
Mm-hmm.
thoughts you have. It's like God. It's like the devil saying like, "Well, look at what you did," and perhaps you
Yeah.
could be, this is the same type of thing. I feel like that Satan is constantly accusing you of doing wrong, accusing you of being a bad person, not really being that good. And God's like, no, they are that good. Just watch how wonderful they are. So yeah, I love that part. But as we know, the
Right.
devil accuses,
However, comma.
yeah, the devil accuses Job, and God's like, well, I think some people would look at this as like a game, like an evil game, but I don't think it is. That God would let um the devil attack him, like
Mm-hmm.
basically take off any protection of him and let him really almost use like basically his full force on him. Most even unbelievers, if you try to explain that to them, they would be like, I don't want to be part of this sick game between God and the devil. And really, God uses the situation to glorify himself, and he used it,
Mm-hmm.
and Satan, as much as he doesn't want to, he was used to glorify God.
Exactly. Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. Is that like even in the midst of that, if you look, okay, so if you look at it from Satan in power, then it'll look like a sick game. But
Yeah.
when you look at it from the aspect of God is and has all the power in this situation. And so when he allows Satan to do certain things, it's only for the good of those that he loves and who loves him. Excuse me, it was a gnat.
Mhm.
Um, and so like it's almost like Satan is thinking that he gets to do all of these things, right? But at the end of the day, he had to walk into
Mhm.
God's presence to even get this opportunity. And so it's like God's like, yeah, no. I mean, I can show you. Like I can show you that he's
Yeah.
not going to curse me. Like I can show you that I'm correct. But
Mhm.
ultimately like him like God knowing what Job can handle, cuz honestly, if God would have done this to any one of Job's friends, it would not be the same story.
Oh no, 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 no,
If
no. I
and
don't even think God would have put that test on them because I feel like he knew Job was going to pass the test. He already knew
exactly,
what was going
yeah.
to happen. It wasn't like he was testing some random regular
Mm-mm.
guy who may have believed in him, but it's like Job was like the man. Like,
Yeah. Cuz honestly, I used to see it as like when God allows you to suffer, it's like God's testing your faith in the sense of like he is insecure about your faith, but that's not the
hmm
case at all.
yeah,
I
he's
think
super secure.
Job, yeah, like God knows your belief, and
hmm
he's not trying to say, "Oh, like is like do they have enough faith for this?"
Yeah.
He knows that. I mean, and it only takes faith of a mustard seed to move a mountain. So it's not like God has this, like faith detector or this exam that you have to pass to be able to prove that you have a certain level of faith. Like God knows your heart before you do. But in the sense of like God, like I feel like Job actually learned more about himself and learned more about who God is throughout this, that at the end of the day it had a benefit for Job too, because also I was racking through my brain of like, well, how does this benefit Job at all? Like this
Yeah.
really just is a way for God to teach, or to teach a lesson to the heavens, like basically to
Yeah.
let the angels know like I am that I am. So, and I know who follows me, and I have a relationship with this man, and Job is for me. And at the end of the day, I have the final say. Like he was really just teaching heaven that. And the thing is like, well, if it doesn't benefit Job, I almost feel like it cheats Job out of something. But no, Job
Yeah.
learned so much more about God, and honestly about Jesus, um,
He did.
which
Yeah, he
I'll get
did.
into later. I'll
We'll
hold on.
get we'll get we'll get to that.